Good morning, good morning, good morning. Elise, Francoise, Lori, Anne, Zeika, Daphne, 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 Daphne. I'm going with Daphne. You let me know if you'd like it to be different. How is everybody? Okay, so another workout gear day because Dave and I take a special walk. Where do I want this? In the morning. We got a little bit of a late start, but it felt right. Crooked. Trying to adjust things in a camera. That's not the vibe. Uh, it felt really congruent to do our walk. We have a little visioning spot that we love at the moment. So, how's everybody feeling? My beautiful Soul Led Life hat on for our podcast. Only 2 of these were made. I think Kathy Patton was the winner of the beautiful Soul Led Life hat 2 years ago, not 4 years ago, 2 years ago in February. Heat wave, working from home, 2 p.m. Lily, hello. Brenda, hello. All right. Hi, Tara. Hi, Allison. Tara and all. Hi, Allison. How are we feeling since yesterday? Give me a little bit of an update, just where you are inside, anything that might be present for you as we move into today. I loved yesterday. It was, as somebody said in the chat, short and sweet. And I'm really just going to honor the energy of each day. And initially, it was always intended to be 15 to 20-ish minutes. But some days, some days are just going to be what they're going to be. It's all going to be perfect. We're going to honor the flow. So, a reminder that you do not need to understand the lesson. I know I've said it millions of times. The course is going to say it many, many times. Feeling this unraveling inside of the need to understand. And the other thing I really want to invoke today, 2 things actually is coming up. Increasing your capacity to receive. So this is an indie conversation inside of Elegant Femme. And from our perspective with the course, I'd like you to consider just receiving the lesson. Because again, we are taught, we believe subconsciously that in order to receive anything, we need to prove our value. We need to understand what we're receiving. And there's a piece of the ego. Let me know if you've ever felt this way. A fear of receiving, that if I receive this, I'm going to owe something. Have you felt that before? Say a girlfriend wants to, I remember this when the kids were younger, a girlfriend said she'd pick up the kids from school or something. And it's like, you really would love to receive it, but a piece of you is like, oh gosh, then I'm going to have to pay her back, right? This isn't a real energy of gifting and receiving. We've changed inside of Elegant Femme years ago, the word giving to the word gifting, because of the shift in the energetic frequency that we feel of gifting, rather than the fear of if I receive, I've got to give, and it feels like a burden energy. Has anyone felt that before? Let me know. Good morning, Dawn, you're here. Di, you're here. Elaine, welcome back, beauty. Has anyone felt that before? I love that you're making connections. Look at, like, I'm in Atlanta. Where are you in Atlanta? I love it. Yes, connect. We have gorgeous femmes from all over the world. So connect with each other. But if you have felt that, just see inside, because that kind of dynamic of, if I receive this, I'm going to owe someone something. If I receive this, I'm going to carry the burden of guilt or carry the burden of payback. And I don't like that feeling, so I'm just not going to receive. If we're carrying that frequency unconsciously, we do it in every area. We'll also do it around money. We'll also do it around love. I will do it everywhere. So just a subtle awareness of, am I in any way blocking my capacity to receive because I'm buying into the illusion, the fear that I'll have to pay something back or I'll feel guilty. The course says a lot. The course says a lot about guilt, and we'll talk about it as we go. All right, definitely I felt that. What I want to bring forward today for fun and to feel into the energy as we open up the lesson is acknowledgement. Acknowledgements. So I don't know about you, but one of the things I've really had the opportunity to continue to be aware of inside of my formula is this kind of, martyr syndrome that I believe, I don't know for sure, but I believe a lot of women can relate to. This feeling like we're the strong ones, we're the ones that can do everything, we're the ones that do everything. And that place that we can get into where it's like, when is it going to be my turn? Anyone feel that? Like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing this. When is it going to be my turn? This energy used to really challenge me. And I would feel this resentment, this confusion, this, I guess maybe even like some sadness of like, I want it to be my turn. I want it to be my turn. And at the same time, this feeling of like, I'm going to just do a little bit more. Anyone relate to that one? Anyone relate to that? Like this feeling of, and I've heard this from so many women of, this feeling of, I'm going to do everything for everyone else. And at some point, everyone's going to recognize that I'm doing everything for everyone else and it's going to be my turn. You know, this is not a feminine energy at all. Although we as women naturally and love, and I feel it's part of our divine gifts in the world to gift and to nurture and to, I love it. I love it. I love it. I also require to be aware where I start to come from, any place inside of me that starts to feel like I'm doing an awful lot around here and waiting for acknowledgement. Okay, so if you've ever felt that before, I want to play with a little bit of an exercise today as we move into the lesson that I feel like will support you, might support you today and continuously as we go through this. Because again, inside of the course, our worlds are getting flipped upside down. This is what you think you see, but it's not really what you see. This is what you think is meaningful, but it's not. It's actually meaningless. This is where you're residing, but this is really where, so you're like, wait a minute. Hey, where's my footing? Where's my grounding? One, the femme types will really support. Talked about that a lot. This may be also fun for you to play with. Okay, so I want to give you an example. That happened to me yesterday. And actually, let's see. Let's slow down a bit. Let's feel this inside. Yeah. Okay, let me open with intention. I'm going to bring you through a very short exercise as we open today. Father, Mother, God, as we pour ourselves into the divine unknowing, as we let go of everything we think we know, as we allow this gorgeous, limitless space to receive, to allow, to be, to enjoy, to expand, and to rest. We ask that only that which is in accordance with the highest good is present today. We ask for the awareness, the permission inside of ourselves to ride on the frequency of joy, of love, of beauty, of laughter. And we ask that any point inside that may be holding on, that may be constricted, that may be buying into the illusion of self-doubt or feeling unrecognized in any way, come into the light and be celebrated. This or something even better for the highest good of all concerned. Amen. Are you ready to be celebrated? Are you ready to be celebrated? Are you ready to let any kind of contraction inside be brought into the light? Yeah? Can we get a wee for that? We. Are you ready to be celebrated? Are you ready to be acknowledged? Are you ready to be seen? Are you ready to be seen? That can sometimes feel scary. So I was in the kitchen yesterday, and Dom has had friends over for a couple of nights. My father-in-law was here last week. We went to my parents. There's been like some moving pieces, things that we do naturally and things that I really like to do, right? Like changing sheets and laundry. I actually really love this now. I do have a different relationship with this, and I love creating a beautiful home. I really love this. So Dom came home from golfing and he was like, oh, Mom, I saw Nico's dinner. Can you make me the same thing? No problem. I love making my kids food and they like the way I do it because I make the plate look pretty and they just know I put love into it. So love you, Dave. And they always say, can Mom make it? Because if Dad, I'm going to get a piece of meat on a plate. That's sometimes what I'm going to get. Yeah, Dave's like, it's food. You're good. He's right. But, my boys like a little Frenchie twist. So no problem. And then I started to feel like tired. I was looking at the clock. I was like, I really want to be in bed by now. And I started to feel like this energy of like, okay, I really want to make this beautiful. I'm doing this. And I could feel myself teetering into that little martyr. I could feel it coming up inside. And I just stopped. And I had a full dialogue with myself in the kitchen. I was like, oh my gosh, Shara, have I told you lately how amazing you are? Oh my gosh, and I was directing it really towards Dave because I don't remember why. I think I was waiting for him to tell me something and I just went with it. And I was like, you are the most beautiful wife. Have that too. You are the most beautiful wife. You are so hot and sexy. I can't even believe you're 48 years old. Look at you. You're so amazing at making money. You create a beautiful home. You're the best mom. You're the best wife. Like I went on, I don't know. I don't know for how long. It felt so good. And I saw out of the corner of my eye, Dave smirking. And I just let myself have it. I just went into it. You are so amazing and I'm so proud of you and I love the way you're doing this and look at you and da da da. I had a full moment. Do you know how good this felt? Do you know how good this felt? We wait as women to be acknowledged. We wait. Nobody sees me. I'm not being appreciated. When is it going to be my turn? I guess I have to just do a little more, or I'm like, F you, I'm not doing it at all, or I'm going to do it, but I'm going to have F you energy in it, or right? It's like, and I remind myself with whatever I'm doing throughout the day, laundry, making the kids a beautiful meal, working out, whatever I'm doing, I'm like, I'm doing this for me. I know I'm doing this for me. So I'm going to encourage you, if it feels good, play with it right now as we open up the next lesson. I'm going to invite you to acknowledge yourself. I don't know if Dave's here today at all. I'm going to invite you to acknowledge yourself. How amazing am I? I'm so amazing. I love myself so much. Look at me. I am so grateful. So here as we open up, let's just receive a moment together. Breathing in and breathing out. Begin to feel the acknowledgement energy, the appreciation energy inside of yourself. Begin to feel it rising up inside of you. And again, if you're familiar with the Femme types, you might feel that activation in your power of sensuality, activating your Indie, moving up into your solar plexus, expanding in your Frenchie, moving up into your heart space, bursting open with your New Yorker, and feel this. Receiving appreciation, receiving gratitude, receiving acknowledgement, allowing yourself to be visible to you. First of all, acknowledging yourself for being here today. You're here. Say it out loud to yourself. Say it out loud. I'm here. I made it. I'm devoting myself to remembering all of who I am. Say it with me. I'm here. I made it. I'm devoting myself to remembering all of who I am. Look at me. Look at me. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. Whatever you want to say inside. Feel into whatever it is you've been operating inside of your life. If there's anything you want to be acknowledged for. Anything inside that's like, oh, I don't know if anyone noticed how gorgeous and sexy I am. I'm noticing it for myself. I am so gorgeous. I am so sexy. I'm the best mom. I'm the best wife. I'm the best grandmother. I'm the best daughter. I'm the best whatever. I'm amazing. I love myself. I love my nails. Look how pretty I am. Look how connected I am. Look how loving I am. Okay? How are we feeling now? Let's open up the next lesson. How's this feel? How does this feel? Okay, we got the sports bra on. the beautiful Solid Life hat, some glasses. We're rocking the fashion today. Ah, how's this feel? Oh, Dave, Dave, you are here. Oh, that made you cry. And it can, like, if we have been inside like starving for this recognition, if there's a place inside of us where we're like, see me, see me. And we don't realize that we've been waiting for someone else to gift us permission to see ourselves. Have these. If this supports you, have one of these every day. What should we call this? Should we call this a femme chat? Should we call this what? Give me some names that we can play with. That these are these moments where we're like looking at ourselves. We're honoring who we are. We're appreciating ourselves. We're having this party, this celebration, and go for it and just let it spill out. Dave, do you remember this moment last night? I feel like I heard you, not heard you. I felt like I saw you smirk out of the corner of your eye when I was having my little celebration in the kitchen. Do you remember? I needed this. Tara, don't forget to add sexy leotard library. I will definitely add this. Oh, I didn't realize I needed it. You finished my thought. I think appreciation rampage. For me, rampage sounds a little, for me, it sounds a little aggressive or a little like, but I'm sure, like, look, any word that has a beautiful connotation for you, utilize it. Utilize it. For me, rampage feels a little bit like Rocky coming in, or somebody coming in with like a violent moment. For me, for me, but I can be very sensitive to words for sure. So whatever it is for you, the appreciation, right? Just pour it like appreciation rain, right? Let it pour onto you and be the one that's like, look at me, I am so proud, and have fun with it. Dance, move. Dave popped in and then he popped back out. I don't know if he remembers last night. It reminds me of the little girl on the counter. I have seen that. If you want to do it in the mirror, do it in the mirror. If you want to, I close my eyes when I do it and just let go. Let go completely. Or I'm not looking at what do I look like, just letting myself go. So however it serves you. So kicking the ass wouldn't work for you. Marino, you're in a little cheeky mood today. Did you see me doing this in the kitchen last night or not? Appreciation immersion. Ooh. I love this. So feel it pouring down on you. Look what we have. Look what I found. Choose to live you fully today. My intention is to live a life full of beauty, happiness, gratitude, abundance, pleasure, and service. May I honor this day fully. May I say yes to my gifts, and may I touch lives with love. This or something even better for the highest good of all concerned. Amen. I found our Live You Fully cards that we created a long time ago, and I'm mailing one to everyone who's in the new Live You Fully Summer Edition. I found those. Yes, I saw you. I don't know if we believe them, but we're going to take it. All right. Lesson 14. Lesson 14. Yes, I'm reminding myself of the amazing things I've done this year. Congratulations, Allison. And I just really have fun with it. This is the point. Pour yourself into it. Like, oh my gosh, look at me. 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 All right. Lesson 14. I intend always for the highest good. And my intention, if it's in service, is that you receive so much relief from today. Lesson 14. Oh, side note. Dave Marino, being the beautiful man that he is, saw some of you in the chat yesterday saying, where do I get the book or all this kind of stuff? So Dave decided to actually start putting the lesson in the description. So smart, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So if you don't have the book yet and you want to read along, don't know if it's already in the description for today or if it will be there for the replay. I'm not quite sure, but the descriptions for each lesson will start to show up inside the description section. So thank you, Dave Marino. Lesson 14. Open your sense of receiving, shoulders back, feeling open, letting go of any need to understand, feeling your shoulders relax, chest open, arms open, legs open, the whole thing. Are you ready to receive? Lesson 14. God did not create a meaningless world. Oh, thank God. Right? Like, oh, frick. Thank God. Thank God. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today is, of course, the reason why a meaningless world is impossible. What God did not create does not exist. And everything that does exist exists as He created it. Breathing in and breathing out. No need to understand, just receive. The world you see has nothing to do with reality. It is of your own making and does not exist. Again, breathing in and breathing out, that peace that wants to understand, that peace that wants to be right, the peace that wants to just consider that what God made is what exists. And what God made exists in the form that God made it. Can we get a tiny wee wee? Okay. Maybe. Maybe yes. Maybe. The exercises for today are to be practiced with eyes closed throughout. The mind searching period should be short, a minute at most. Okay, so typically we see a minute, so this is a minute maximum. Do not have more than 3 practice periods with today's idea unless you find them comfortable. So this is where, again, the bookends that we talk about inside of Elegant Femme, an AM and a PM will support you with so much grace through this course. If you end up wanting to do more, today it says 1 more maximum, okay? And then it says, unless you find them really comfortable. So you may find, I know I have, you may find as you go through the course, a longing, it feels like a relief, and you might find yourself being called to it. But if not, to never push, to force, to not find that grasping energy. Okay? If you do, it will be because you really understand what they are for. So if you're finding comfort in it and you want to return more than 3 times, then honor that. If not, don't. And it doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make you, oh gosh, I'm not as good as the other person. I'm not a good student. Doesn't mean any of that. Honor your own unraveling. Really important. Okay? Form of appreciation to honor where we are. Yeah? The idea for today is another step in learning to let go of the thoughts that you have written in the world. Like we spoke about a couple of lessons ago, that whatever we think inside, we are perceiving in the world. So this is an opportunity to continue to unravel what we think we see based on the thoughts that we have chosen consciously, subconsciously to believe, and see the word of God in their place. I want to read that again in unison because I feel it's really beautiful. The idea for today is another step in learning to let go of the thoughts that you have written on the world and see the word of God in their place. Oh, I feel like that's so beautiful. It's like poetic. See if you can begin to feel the beauty in the course. The early steps in this exchange, which can truly be called salvation, can be quite difficult and even quite painful. Some of them will lead you directly into fear. You will not be left there. You will go far beyond it. Our direction is toward perfect safety and perfect peace. Okay. With eyes closed, think of all the horrors of the world that cross your mind. Name each one as it occurs to you, and then deny its reality. God did not create it, and so it is not real. Say, for example, God did not create that war, and so it is not real. God did not create that airplane crash, and so it is not real. God did not create that disaster and specify whatever that disaster is that's bringing up a space of fear inside of you, and so it is not real. Suitable subjects for the application of today's idea also include anything you are afraid might happen to you or to anyone about whom you are concerned. This is a very beautiful practice for mothers. For women in general, we have a tendency to buy into the illusion that worry is a form of love. It is not. In each case, name the disaster quite specifically. Do not use general terms. For example, do not say God did not create illness, but God did not create cancer or heart attacks or whatever might arise fear inside of you. This is your personal repertory of horrors at which you are looking. These things are part of the world you see. Some of them are shared illusions and others are part of your personal hell. It does not matter. What God did not create can only be in your own mind apart from God's. Therefore, it has no meaning. In recognition of this fact, conclude the practice periods by repeating today's idea. God did not create a meaningless world. The idea for today can, of course, be applied to anything that disturbs you during the day, aside from the practice periods. Be very specific in applying it, saying, God did not create a meaningless world. God did not create, and then specify the situation which is disturbing you. So it's not real. All right, let's talk about this briefly, because again, there's a big difference between you hearing the lesson versus going through the lesson on your own. It is not the same thing. To hear me say this and to intellectualize it and feel into the, oh my gosh, what is this saying? Oh my gosh, it is real. I see it. It is like all the ego that wants to come up in argument and it wants to justify a case, but it is real. I see it. It is there. How could you tell me that this isn't there? Okay? Go through the practice. Feel yourself in the energy of the upset, of the fear that comes up. Gift yourself permission to have the experience, and then we can go from there. This is a really, really big lesson. And I do want to talk more about it. I do want to share personally how I relate to things going on in the world and how I have for probably about a while now, probably about 15 years. That has been very different from the kind of normal conversation around how things go on in the world. And something that up until quite recently, I have hesitated to even share about how I relate to things for fear of being seen as or misunderstood. That really is the big fear. So I want to talk about it more, but not yet, because I really am going to invite you to gift yourself the opportunity to move through the practice. So instead of from the vantage point of just hearing it and saying, well, wait, this doesn't make sense because that war is real. That war is real. What are we doing? Are we just acting like we don't care? Like instead of sitting there, move through the exercise. Be really honest with yourself around your own personal fears and or collective fears, but make sure it evokes something inside of you that's coming up, and move through the exercise as it's laid out and see what happens. And then we can take it deeper. And as I said, I've said a couple times that I still haven't landed on the exact date yet, but I do want to have a deeper conversation inside of our Woman Living Fully Facebook group to support some questions, some Q&A, some elegant femme immersion around it that we're going to be doing, I think, pretty soon. So how are we as we close? Thank you for doing that, Dave. I received this fully. Okay, that's where we are. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close. Everyone open to this, moving through? Yes, seeing the others through the eyes of love, for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. We'll go ahead and close for today. Again, if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. Let me know you're here. I'm always going through the comments and celebrating you. If you're here live, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for pouring yourself in to this space. And this is for you. There's no obligation at all, right? It's a choice. It's an internal permission for you to say, all right, I'm going to see what's here for me and see what surfaces inside. See how the letting go of buying into the misunderstanding that I know why things are happening or I know what they mean. Perhaps I don't. Perhaps not. Perhaps I can consider a different perception. Okay? I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Frenchy Friday. How did this week go by? Tomorrow's going to be the completion of our third week together, right? So, Live You Fully Summer Edition. We have our live call tomorrow if you're joining us. I think some of you are already, I know some of you are already joining us. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I actually have some bonuses that I'm going to surprise you all with today. So check your email. Check your email. If you want to join us, it's still a savings of like over $200. And it includes the foundational program of Live You Fully. It's going to include the brand new summer glow up. It's going to include the live call. It's going to include some special summer series that I use for my own glow up, a brand new Elegant Femme travel guide with new products and things that I personally use for my indie, my Frenchie New Yorker. It's going to be fantastic. So if you're feeling the energy of a glow up, feel into if you'd like to join us, start tomorrow. And yes, there's a payment plan, a beautiful payment plan that starts at like $99. So it's there for you. It's there for you if you want to join us. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. On y va. A domani.